They've been convicted of stealing from taxpayers or abusing the public trust, but month after month, some collect checks from the same cities they shamed.
Our latest 7 Action News investigation has taxpayers stealing and some lawmakers demanding changes. Our Russ Jones joins us now with a look at what he's uncovered on this. Russ?
Stephen, Carolyn, good evening. For certain public employees, it seems like crime pays. And in some cases we found it pays very well. This is the last time we saw ex-Detroit City Council member Lonnie Bates, leaving federal court and ducking behind an umbrella after being found guilty of stealing from the city.
He told the news that
Bates put friends, family, even the man who cut his lawn on the city council payroll, but they never showed up for work. A judge sentenced him to 33 months behind bars. Today, this is Lonnie Bates, out of prison and public office and pocketing more than $24,000 a year from the city he ripped off. Since he was indicted, Bates has collected more than $325 grand from the Detroit General Retirement System, the same one facing cuts as part of the city's bankruptcy. But Lonnie Bates is not alone. In fact, he's one of dozens of former public employees collecting or poised to collect a pension from the very same community they disgraced.
This is stealing from the children, the worst of the worst kind of theft, in our opinion.
In 2010, former Detroit police officer Robert Gibson was charged with embezzling nearly $100 grand from Detroit public schools to make his Farmington Hills home state-of-the-art. Prosecutors say he used the funds to buy granite countertops, an entertainment system, even a deck.
We have a major cesspool of corruption.
Gibson was sentenced to a year in prison, and when he got out, his pension was waiting for him. In 2010, DPS Secretary Geraldine Ellington pled guilty after being accused of embezzling nearly $45 grand in overtime. Her pension, nearly $20,000 a year. And there's Elijah Porter. Prosecutors say the former principal embezzled more than $30 grand from Henry Ford High School to buy clothing and jewelry, even sent his son abroad. He pled guilty in 2001, but thanks to his pension, Porter can still afford that lavish lifestyle. He's collecting more than $61 grand every year for life. And retirement has been good to John Gardner, too. The former superintendent was found guilty of accepting bribes that cost the East Detroit School District at least $800 grand. He's made almost that much in retirement. And there's former Detroit Police Sergeant Walter Bates. If he lives to be 78, he'll bank more than $500,000, and that's fitting because he went to prison for robbing banks. He and his brother were indicted for planning to hit 13 of them back in 2002.
We don't grant a pension on people's moral characters or people's histories.
George Orzek is a longtime pension fund trustee. Today, he's the chairman of the Detroit Police and Fire Retirement System, and while he may not like what some of his convicted pensioners did, he says they're still entitled to a comfortable retirement.
If you use your public position to break the law, should you be rewarded with a public pension?
Well, if you use your position to break the law, you're going to lose your salary.
Should you get a pension?
But if you already qualify, somehow if you already qualified for a pension, before you broke the law, all the work that you've done before is to be negated.
In Michigan, only a judge has the right to forfeit someone's public pension, and only if they use their job to commit a crime. But it doesn't happen very often. Some, like Dearborn Mayor Jack O'Reilly, wish that changed. One of his former officers, Alex Ramirez, orchestrated an elaborate, years-long ticket-fixing scheme, convincing drivers to pay him hundreds of dollars under the table to make their tickets go away. He pled guilty in 2009, giving up his badge and gun, but keeping his pension. The checks are still rolling in at more than $2,600 a month.
I think that the average citizen would think that there's probably something wrong with that.
Yeah. Does the mayor?
Yeah. I mean, I just think that what message are we sending?
Ramirez's plea deal helped him avoid any jail time. If he lives another 30 years, his pension will make him nearly $1 million.
Punishment is to change behavior. And it's not only to change behavior in the person that committed the crime itself, but it's to remind everybody else who might be thinking about doing a crime that there's consequence.
If there's a silver lining to this story, it is this. Some of the convicted felons we told you about, like Lonnie Bates, have been ordered to pay restitution. So every month, a small portion of their pension is garnished. They keep most of it, but taxpayers at least get some of it. So how come nobody's strengthened the laws that would make it easier to go after a criminal's public pension? Well, some have tried and faced massive resistance. That part of our story is tonight on 7 Action News at 11.